Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different for me, but a really important video. I have my cup of tea and I'm going to sit and talk to you about my mental health journey. If you didn't know, I work for the mental health charity Mind, and we are always telling our clients to, talk about their mental health, get help for their mental health, there should be less stigma around having mental health issues. So I think it's really important for me to open up about my mental health. I speak about it, quite openly to people that I'm close with. But I do think it's a really important topic and people should be more open about it and not be afraid to talk about it. So my mental health journey probably started without me really realising when I was probably about 9. So when I was 9 I started to get bullied for my weight. I will pop a little picture up of what I looked like then. I wasn't like huge, but I definitely wasn't one of the skinny mini girls. And this went on for about 6 years. I would get bullied. When I went up to like high school, I had food thrown at me. I would get called fat. I'd get called all sorts of different things, and it was really bad. Like, I don't think I really realised how detrimental it was to my mental health until I was a little bit older. I think when you come out of something like that, you then realise how bad it was. And I kept a lot of it to myself because I was really embarrassed to tell my parents that I was being bullied, and yeah, it was a really bad time. So when I was about 14, 15, I started working out, going to the gym, really looking at what I was eating. I didn't eat chocolates, cakes, desserts, anything like that for like a whole year, and I lost a whole bunch of weight. And some of my bullies would come up to me and would say, "Oh my god, you look so good now," and that to me was just even a worse insult, because it was like, now that I've lost weight, you're validating me. And that was really hard, because I started to then think, okay, the thinner I am, the more people will like me and people will fancy me, and I will get the attention that that normal people have at that age. And it was really hard. I had my first panic attack in year 10 during PE. I was never good at PE in school, and we were doing, what's that, the run where you have to do like 3 laps of so many, like 300 meters or something, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I wasn't a very good runner back then, and I just couldn't do it, and I was so far behind everyone else in my class that I just freaked and I had a panic attack, and it was honestly the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Oh no, that wasn't in year 10. No, that was in year 7. No, year 8. That was in year 8. Sorry, I'm getting my wires crossed. That was in year 8 that I had my first panic attack, and I then didn't have to do PE for the rest of the time that I was at that school. That school was like a middle school, so then we went up to a higher school from year 9 till year 11. So yeah, I didn't have to do it for the rest of that year. So I then left school and went to college, and I'd lost a bunch of weight, so I wasn't being bullied anymore, but I bullied myself. I still thought that I was really fat and that I needed to lose weight. I was working out 3 times a day sometimes. I was eating like a naked bar and fruit for lunch. I was just not in a good place, and I just thought that I was fat. I'd already been, at 15, been diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and I was offered medication, but I didn't want to take it because I was like, I'm only 15. There was also a really bad stigma around that time with antidepressants. I feel like it's a lot less stigmatized now, and it's a lot more like, it's not embarrassing, but at that time I was like, oh my god, no, I can't take antidepressant, like I just can't do that. So I didn't. I had some counselling from the doctor, but I didn't really get on with that. I had a load of different counselling when I was 15, but I didn't really work out with any of that. And when I went to college, I kind of just ignored my mental health and pretended like I was fine, but I wasn't, and it was just slowly decreasing and getting worse. Then I went to uni, and my second year of uni was awful. It was a really shitty time for me. I'm going to put it honestly, it was a shitty time. And I nearly dropped out of uni. I had several mental breakdowns. I had quite a big one where I just didn't want to do it anymore. Any of it. I just really didn't. Hi! It's interrupting. I had so many panic attacks. I would have panic attacks all the time. I would literally go to my lectures and then come home, because I just didn't want to be really around anyone. And yeah, if it wasn't for one of my friends at the time, honestly, I would not have stayed at uni. I would have left. We also got robbed in my second year of uni. And that definitely affected me because I got my car stolen, and I would have like sleep paralysis because I would feel like the person was in my room, over by my chest of drawers, because they'd gone through the jewellery there, so I could imagine them there, even though I never saw them. Like, we weren't in the house, we were out when they robbed us. But that was really hard to go through because it was quite early on. It was in the October, and that really affected me. Even though we weren't in the house, the thought of someone being in the house freaked me out. So I actually did really struggle with that, and already I was having not a great year, and just the combination really sucked. So I tried to go back to counselling again, but again I didn't get on with it. I think a lot of it, I just wasn't ready to accept the issues that I needed to accept for myself, and what how do I even say it? I wasn't ready to sort of move on from the fact that I was bullied. A lot of it that's all where it all stems from. You know, I wasn't ready to be like, okay, I was bullied, it happens, move on. I was just stuck in this rut of, well, I was bullied, I'm not good enough, so any slight inconvenience that would go wrong, I would be like, well, can't do it, can I? Can't. I just didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, and it really showed. So then we came to my third year of uni. My third year of uni was in the middle of the pandemic, so in the February of my third year we went into lockdown, and it was hard to be so isolated. Obviously it was hard for everyone, obviously, but I decided that enough was enough. I couldn't go on any longer, I couldn't do this anymore, I had to get help. And I started having therapy. I had private therapy, and honestly that is the best money I've ever spent, because I finally accepted that I'd been bullied. I accepted that it was hard, I accepted that it was rubbish and it wasn't a good time for me, but I was ready to move on from it. And I think that's really important. you know, you have to be ready to be like, okay, this happened, it was rubbish, but I need to move on now. You know, it was when I was 15, it's when I was last bullied. So I started having therapy, and I had that for probably about 10 months. In the in the June of 2020, I started working as a live-in carer, which was probably the worst idea ever because it was really isolating, it was really lonely, and I struggle a lot with feeling alone. Like when I'm with people I'm fine, but alone for too long my mental health just goes whoo. And I know I'm with someone, but when they have like a dementia or they're non-verbal, it's really hard because you are alone, you can't have a conversation, so you are literally alone. And I left that after about 5 months because my mental health was just getting worse and worse and worse, and I'd been having this therapy, and I was like, what is the point in having this therapy if every time I go back to work I'm just depressed? So I left there, and then I went into Amazon for a month, delivery driving, and I hated it. It was long hours, I wasn't very good at the job, it would make me stressed every single day because you wouldn't even have time to eat lunch or go to the toilet unless you wanted to literally be out from like 7 till fucking 8. And it was just really stressful, and I think a pile of, you know, all my jobs, my mental health already. Sorry, I just cut off. I'd finished my year at uni and I wasn't where I wanted to be, you know, like I'd just come out with a degree and I was working at Amazon, you know, not that there's anything working at Amazon, but it wasn't my dream and it wasn't something that I enjoyed. And I think if you don't enjoy your job, it's going to make you miserable, and it did. It made me absolutely miserable. You know, a lot of things had been missed because of we were in a pandemic from my last year at uni. Like, your last year at uni is meant to be so much fun, and it just wasn't because it was just bombarded by COVID, which I know a lot of people went through, but it was just this combination of all these things, and I was just not where I wanted to be. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had a breakdown. It was quite a severe breakdown. I quit Amazon and I didn't work for maybe like 2 months because I couldn't cope. I went back to the doctors and they offered me antidepressant, and I went on it because I was like, I need this help. I need to be doing something more than just therapy. So I went on antidepressants, and I can honestly say that antidepressants were the best thing for me. I finished my therapy because I kind of come to a point where I was like, I'd accepted that I was bullied, I'd moved on from it, you know, I wasn't crying about it every day, and there was some stuff that I needed to work on, but I needed to work on it by myself, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying I'll never go back to therapy, because I probably will, and I probably need to, and I probably should be at it now, but I really do feel like the antidepressants have helped. I also now work for Mind, which is a job that I love, and I feel like working for a mental health charity, you just get free counselling anyway, so I really feel like doing that has really helped. Travelling is back on and we're planning it and we know when we're going, which has really, really helped my mental health because I'm finally moving in the right direction towards what I want to do and where I want to be with my life. And I've just started to only do things I want to, and you know, if I want to do something, do it. Don't worry about it. Say yes to what you want to say yes to, and say no to what you don't want to do. And I've started surrounding started surrounding myself with people that make me happy and not miserable. And if someone makes me miserable, I'm sorry, but they've got to go, because it's just not worth it. It's not worth my mental health. I am on currently quite a high dose on my antidepressant, but I am planning on starting to come off it in the new year, already for travelling, because I don't want to be on it. Well, I can't really be on it when I'm travelling, and I just feel like I'm in quite a good place with my mental health. I'm not saying that it's perfect, because it's definitely not, but I am probably the happiest I've been in a while. I've cut out any toxic people that are just not good for me. I really enjoy my job. I love all my friends. I love my family. I love my social life and what I do. I'm loving planning, you know, New Year and doing different things. I've been to Scotland this year. I've been to Wales, Manchester, all sorts of places. I'm dating and then being really healthy with dating, again, because I would say that actually dating, I would kind of latch on to people because I've been bullied for so long, and you know, everyone has, like, you know, relationships in school. I didn't have that. So as soon as people, like guys and girls started like giving me attention, I was like, what? So I would latch on to them and I'd be like, oh my god, and I'd really fancy them, and I'd start imagining my life with them, and it just wasn't healthy, because I would then take a step back and it would end, and I'd be like, oh my god, they were so wrong for me, and I'd be really upset that it ended. And then I'd get a few weeks down the line and I'd be like, oh no, it's actually quite a good thing that it's ended. So I feel like I'm finally starting to just accept what happens will happen, and I'm just in a really good place. And I really wanted to speak about my mental health journey, and I'm really sorry if this video was a bit jumbled and I got things in the wrong place and I kept going back to different things. I should have probably structured this video, but I just honestly put the camera on, made a cup of tea and started talking. So I feel like if I had actually planned it out, it would have been a bit more, made a bit more sense. But maybe if you want me to do a Q&A, or there is some parts of my mental health journey that I have not spoken about, mainly because I'm really not ready to speak about at the minute. They're the things that I still have work to do, but I would love to one day sit down and talk about them also. So then maybe this story would make a bit more sense. But I just thought, do you know what, I've got to be honest with myself, and if I can help one person, you know, if they watch this video and one person goes and actually gets help, or goes on antidepressants because they know that actually it doesn't matter, like, if you need antidepressants to help, go and get on them. Honestly, they've been a godsend to me. And if you need therapy, go get therapy. You shouldn't be embarrassed about asking for help for your mental health. You know, surround yourself with good people. Get rid of people that are toxic. Do things that you want to do. If you want to say no to things, say no. Like, you do not have to say yes to everything, even if it's like your bestest friend in the whole wide world. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of my little ramble for today. I might edit it back and be like, oh my god, this makes no sense, but hopefully it does a little bit. Next Sunday will be the start of Vlogmas. I'm not vlogging every day, I'm doing weekly vlogs, but you know, the Christmas content is coming and I'm really excited about it. So really hope that you enjoyed this video somewhat, or at least that it's helped you. If you want to talk about your mental health journey, or you want to ask any questions, please put them in the comments, message me on Instagram, anything, literally, honestly, anything. I love you all so much. Please subscribe, and I'll see you for Christmas videos.